All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hey, do you recognize us? We recognize you. Brian, Josh from Sports Junkies. I've been saying it all afternoon. Special segment for this video only. Okay. So Josh and I did, God, how long ago was that? Our second episode?
At least.
When we did a retired players only draft.
Yeah.
So I like to have fun with these. So we're going to do this a lot differently than maybe a lot of people do it. You know, we're going to do an NFL draft, full offense. Okay. Now, usually there's only supposed to be 11 men on the field. Yes, that is true.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes the fullback gets pulled, puts the slot receiver in, so that's still 11 people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go down the line of offense. We're going to pick a quarterback, a fullback, 2 wide receivers, a slot receiver, which technically means 3. Okay? Now, when I tell you a slot receiver, that does not mean that you have to pick the number 3 guy on the depth chart.
Right.
You can put a number 1 receiver in slot. I don't care.
Yep.
Okay? And this is where the fun really comes in. You have to pick all 5 of your offensive linemen.
Yep.
Both tackles, both guards, and your center. And your tight end. Okay? And what's cool about this video is I'm going to write it down and I'm going to go back through it. And for you people that listen, you guys will have the vote on who will win this game. Retired versus current. He gets current, I get retired. We're going to do this offensively, and then in 2 weeks we're going to do defense.
Yep.
Then the next episode after that, it's going to be that's the NFL portion of it. Then I told you, you and I were talking back and forth about it. I told you NFL.
Baseball.
And then we're going to do our own baseball draft.
That was
retired, current. Okay? What that means, 5 pitchers, your outfield, so your left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, your infield, first, second, third baseman, shortstop, and catcher. 5 pitchers. Why 5 pitchers? Well, that's because that's what we use in the MLB.
Yeah, starting 5.
But we're not going to do no relievers or closing pitchers or nothing like that.
Like
We're just going to keep it 5 pitchers and in an outfield for that. Current versus retired. Then, we're going to do an NBA one too.
Yeah. NBA.
We'll do that after the NFL. Retired, current. Now you see the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to take this, we'll flip it. I get current, he'll get retired. See how this all shakes out. I'm looking forward to this. I have been so stoked to do this with you. So let's get started. So we're going to let Josh do the number 1, the first pick. And actually, you know what? I want to make this different for you. You said while we were off air that, you had already wrote all your guys down. Well, that's okay. So we're not going to splurge out teams.
Yeah.
But this is how I'm going to do it to you. I'm going to splurge out a position to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Are you ready?
Absolutely.
So I get to start, and I get to splurge out his position. And I will start with center.
All right. That's why I have myself prepared here.
Woo! Now I know you're smart.
All right. Based on stats, currently he plays for the Chiefs, I believe. Creed Humphrey.
That is a Kansas City Chief.
Yeah. He had a 94.9 cumulative overall grade by PFF standards, which is Pro Football Focus. He's basically a strong pass blocker, which is why Patrick Mahomes gets a lot of time in the pocket to dice up defenses. So Creed Humphrey is my number 1 center.
Creed Humphrey. So this is where the fun's going to come in. We're going to talk about these as we pick them. So Creed Humphrey, for those of you who may not know, Creed Humphrey right now anchors down that Kansas City offensive line. Due to the loss of Joe, I want to say Thurnley or Turnley, however you pronounce his last name. He went to Chicago.
Yep.
And I can't remember their guard's name. He was just on a State Farm commercial with him, but I can't remember his.
I know you're. Yeah, I think
you know who I'm going with, though.
Yeah.
Patty Mahomes has had a banged up offensive line, but Creed Humphrey's been healthy. Okay. This has not been the same KC offensive line as it's been. But there's one constant that he has had, and that is good pick, Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey, man, I tell you, if I had to pick current centers, but you don't have a lot of, I would take Creed Humphrey in a heartbeat.
Right behind him, I would take Tyler Linderbaum next.
Tyler Linderbaum, you're limited on centers in this league.
Yep.
Very limited, because this isn't. Man, I'm gonna sound so old. This isn't 10 years ago, where you had the Kevin Mawais, you had the Jeff Mitchells, the Matt Burks, the Brad Meisters. You had centers back in the day, and some of those names you're like, huh? Brad Meister, longtime center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, Jeff Mitchell, longtime center for the Carolina Panthers. Matt Burke, longtime center for the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. Kevin Mawai, longtime center for the Jets and the Tennessee Titans. Yes. Okay, you also had Olin Cruz, longtime Chicago Bears center. There were Alex Mack. Okay. Todd McClure. I mean, the centers. There were aplenty. You look at now, they're not as aplenty as they used to be. So that Creed Humphrey, very good first pick. Love it. Lay it on me, Josh.
All right, with you, I'm going to go with right guard.
Right guard.
Are there really guards that can play either side?
So I'm sticking with the same team. The Kansas City Chiefs.
I love this.
Okay. This dude is a Hall of Famer. Right guard, number 68. They protected Trent Green for so many years. Will Shields.
I vaguely remember that name too.
Will Shields. Hall of Famer. Or future Hall of Famer. I think he's already in the Hall of Fame. He is the 2000s all-decade right guard. This dude, if you ever was to take him in a Madden game and somehow were able to trade for him, which we know, I get to have to talk a little video games and get nerdy here, which is cool. I have an Xbox and a PS2, and I have most of the old school Maddens up there, and I believe most of my old school Maddens are right there and down here and up there on my game shelf. The cool part is when you played Madden, oh man, I would say 02, 03 until Will Shields retired. If you had a way and you needed a right guard, that's who you pick. Because you could easily get him for a couple draft picks and you were done. And you had a right guard for you. He's last time I remembered, I think it was 05 or 06, he had a 5-year contract. And he just ran up the 5-year contract and retired.
Yep.
Anchor. Will Shields. Anchor at right guard. You. Right tackle.
Ooh. All right.
I'm gonna to get your offensive line started here.
I love doing this stuff.
The tackles are so much fun. Maybe not as much fun now, but the way I have it with retired players, oh boy, I'm gonna have fun. Trust me. Josh?
I didn't write this guy down. Oh, I didn't write his team name down. But
what's your right tackle?
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson, Philadelphia Eagles.
That one. Been one of the few consistent tackles for tackles over the last few years. Had an 88.9 PFF overall grade. Great pass blocker, great run blocker.
Okay. That all you got?
That's all I got on him.
So I get to add to this for you. So, Lane Johnson, for the Philadelphia Eagles fans, they know who Lane Johnson is.
Yeah.
Okay. They know. Okay. But for the people that don't, you need a freaking right tackle. Lane Johnson's your guy. As long as he can stay healthy, which he did during the Super Bowl run,
Yep.
he protected Jalen Hurts like crazy. Okay?
Man.
Listen to me. I believe 2 or 3 years in a row, or it might be a little bit more than that. Lane Johnson's overall rating in Madden has been a 98 or a 99. He has not been lower than that.
That makes sense then. That adds up.
That's why he's got such a good grade. Okay? Yeah. Because Lane Johnson is that, like, let's say, because it's fun in Madden, like some of these old Maddens, you can do franchise mode, do a fantasy draft. Everybody picks him. Granted, he's on the wrong side of 3, but he still plays very well for his age. Now, obviously, at this point, he's taking it a year at a time. Okay? Because he is getting up there in age. So he does take it a year at a time. But he still is one of the top-notch right tackles in all football. What a pick.
Yeah.
What a pick. What a pick, Josh. Okay?
Where are you? I want to see your center.
You want to see my center? So, I have 50 bajillion options I could go with. And you know this.
This is why I can't wait to see him pick it.
So, I'm going to go, and no, it's not because it's my favorite football team. I'm going to go with this man because he's an Iron Man. He's a legend in the sport. And the man never missed a game. I had options, but my number one center I would take over anybody. He played 20 years in this league.
It's a long time, too.
Okay? I will tell you here in just a second when I get it wrote down. Okay? This guy played 20 years, 20 or 21 years. He's known as the Iron Man and probably going to do this right. Iron Man Bruce Matthews. Yes, I have a list of retired centers I could have gone with. I just told you a bunch of them.
Yep.
I chose Bruce Matthews because that man started every single game in the NFL. Never won a Super Bowl, but he did make that Super Bowl appearance in '99 with the Titans. But man, did he anchor down that freaking center spot for the Titans all the way until he retired at the end of the 2003 season. I'm telling you guys, he was 40 when he retired. 40 or 41 when he called it quits. Bruce Matthews would be the center I would choose over anything. Perfect center. Houston Oiler, Tennessee Titan. He was with the Houston Oilers when they were still the Houston Oilers. Then when they switched Tennessee, he went with them. He was an honorable man. He could have said, nah, I'm leaving. He stayed with that franchise his whole career.
Longevity and allegiance.
Yes! And that is hard to do. You know what I'm saying?
Especially nowadays.
Right. Very hard to do. So, with you, we'll switch it. Go to your running back.
Okay. Again, current players.
Of course. Yeah, we've Josh's current, I'm retired, as you can tell.
I chose this guy because he actually had a fantastic breakout season last year for Buffalo, no less.
Oh, James Cook.
James Cook III.
You know what's funny about him before you get into him?
Yeah.
So here's the thing about James Cook. I like about James Cook. Okay. James Cook had a breakout year. James Cook had a breakout year in 2024. In 2025, he re-upped that 2024 season. Okay. Yeah. I did not really think. I was like, okay, here we go. James Cook, he's just gonna. He re-upped.
Now, don't get me wrong. I guarantee you I got some Eagles fans screaming at me.
Right.
I'm not saying Barkley. But.
Right. Well, okay, that's fine.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, that's fine. But here's the thing about Saquon Barkley. Okay, here's the thing about Saquon Barkley. He had that good 2,000-yard season.
Yeah.
But he declined last season. or James Cook went this way. That's what you want, though. In a current running back, you want somebody that's going this way.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
would take Saquon Barkley top 5 all day, every day.
I still love Saquon.
But
Even though
James
he
Cook,
at times.
James Cook, he's quiet.
Also, shout out to Brad for having James Cook.
Absolutely. All right, Josh, what specs you got now?
Yeah, 17 games last year. He had 309 attempts for 1,621 rush yards.
Quiet.
1,912 total yards.
Quiet.
12 rushing TDs. 12 rushing TDs. Or no, sorry.
That's okay. You have a lot wrote down. I can see
did,
that.
yeah.
Probably should.
Well, yeah, 12 rushing TDs,
Yeah.
14 total TDs.
So, yeah, he only had 2 receiving because they used him more in the running game than they did the passing game.
Yeah.
Um,
But he definitely gave Josh Allen relief.
Yeah, because Josh Allen didn't know who to throw to.
Exactly.
It was either he threw to Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, or James Cook.
Yeah.
James Cook, that's a great running back choice. I could think of other running backs, like a Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon. But for you to take James Cook, that's a very, very good pick. Very good pick. I like that. All right, bud.
All right, here's a fun one for you. Fullback.
So the fullback position. Now, I know and understand in the current NFL we don't use them anymore.
As much.
Okay, but we do use them. We use them in the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a fullback that a lot of people don't pay attention to. He's a current Fox Sports announcer. He played for the 90s. Played for the 90s Cowboys. Okay. Let me get him wrote down here. Okay. He played for the 90s Cowboys. Helped them win Super Bowls. Fullback Daryl Johnston. A lot of people don't know him.
Yeah, that's true.
I do. Because, obviously, if you paid attention in the 90s when they won 3 Super Bowls, Daryl Johnston had a big part in that. With Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek. Loaded team. Nobody talks about how good Daryl Johnston was as a fullback. Versatile. He could catch, block, run. When you look at current, one fullback name comes to mind, and that's Kyle Juszczyk. Okay? For the 49ers. He's the only fullback that really comes to mind right now that you still hear about at the fullback position.
Yep.
Because a lot of teams have gotten rid of the fullback position. And I think, to me, when you look at the fullback position, is one of the most underrated positions in all of football. Because it does get underused. And I think that's why people have gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
So if they need a fullback now, they just use a tight end for it.
Right.
And it kind of puts you in a crap situation. Like, what if a tight end gets injured? Now you have to go get a fullback or get another tight end.
Yep.
I'm not real keen on the fact that we don't use tight ends. I would rather you keep a fullback. It's a key position. It's key. Very key. I'm glad you told me my fullback because I picked an underrated one. I had quite a few. I could have picked Tony Richardson, who played in this league for umpteen billion years. I could have picked the mid-2000s Justin Griffith with the Atlanta Falcons. I have choices.
Yeah.
But I chose to go way back. For you, let's see. You know what? You don't have it wrote down, but I'm going to make you do your fullback. And if you have to look it up, that's fine.
I already know. It's Kyle Juszczyk.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
You need to get me the last name because I
Yeah, I'll spell it out.
Yeah.
J-U-S.
J-U-S.
Z-C.
Uh-huh.
Z-Y-K.
Okay.
And I can tell you some things about him.
All right. So Josh picks Kyle Juszczyk, who is still one of the fullbacks in this league that does get talked about. And I cannot wait for you to break this man down.
Also, fun fact, he is from Ohio.
Right, he is from Ohio.
They say he's often regarded as the best fullback of this generation. Excels in multiple roles, including blocking, receiving, and even carrying the ball.
Mm-hmm.
His versatility, overall, it's that versatility that makes him an asset.
Key piece of the 49ers.
He opens up holes for McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Key piece for the Niners, dude. He's still a key piece for the Niners.
Yeah.
When he's injured, which doesn't, he doesn't get injured, so I mean.
Yeah, he's been very, very consistent.
Wow. Kyle Juszczyk, man. I cannot wait for him when he's done and retired to put that gold jacket on for a fullback because it's rare you get one. So that's great.
Yeah.
So you picked Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah,
So
Juszczyk was a no-brainer for me.
all right, your turn.
Ooh. All right, let's go for your running back.
You want my running back. So I have
Here's a list.
the list of retired running backs is endless for me. Man, I could go with Emmitt Smith. Common sense, right? One of the best running backs of all time. I could go with an Adrian Peterson if I wanted to. You know, I'm going down the list of some of the obvious ones. But I'm going to tell you one that is forgotten. And no, it is not Eddie George.
Yep.
Okay? I want Eddie George, but for this purpose only, I'm going to give you one that a lot of people have kind of forgotten about.
I know who he's picking.
Frank Gore.
That's a solid
Frank
one.
Gore is a top 5 running back all time. Almost all of it came with the 49ers. This freaking dude was a bullet beast at running back. At the times when the 49ers were like down,
Oh, yeah.
what was their bright spot?
Yeah.
Frank Gore ran for at least 1,500 yards a year. At least. If he ran for 1,100, you were like, whoa, what's wrong with Frank Gore? That man, if I'm not mistaken, is top 5 rushing yards all time. He retired at a very old age. He was like 37, I think, when he's either 37 or 38 when he finally did call it quits. The thing about Frank Gore is Frank Gore to me was versatile. Okay? Frank Gore was a running back that he was not super tall. He was compact at the ground, but he was big. Not super big, but he was big. Okay?
Yeah.
But man, did Frank Gore have speed.
Number 3 on the list, 16,000 yards exactly.
Yeah, Frank Gore played for a very long time. So that would be my pick at running back, despite the list that's probably taller than me of running backs that I could have gotten. A Ricky Waters, a Herschel Walker, an Eddie George,
Jerome Bettis.
a Jerome Bettis,
Jim Brown.
I mean, there's running backs out there. But I wanted Frank Gore. You may disagree. You might tell me Jim Brown, and that's fine. You could tell me Bo Jackson. You could tell me Marcus Allen. None of these picks and retired that are wrong. None of them.
Yeah,
Because they're all good in their own way.
they are.
All right. So let's go with. So you need 2 receivers and a slot.
Yep.
Let's go with your slot.
Glad you asked, buddy.
Of course I did.
He hails from the great University of OH.
Oh! I already know where you're going.
Jackson Smith Njigba. Shout out to you, Andrew, because you drafted him last year.
Yep. And
Excellent pick, by the way.
what a freaking 2025 campaign.
What a rookie campaign.
Yeah, what a 2025 campaign.
And he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, what a campaign for him.
All right. Stats. 17 games. I'm also going to include his playoff stats.
That's fine.
17 games regular season. 119 reception yards. 119 receptions. 1,793 receiving yards. 10 reception TDs. 15.1 yards per catch.
And you think about the quarterback he had. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's come from the depths. and now is a Super Bowl winner.
Yep.
Think about that for just a minute. Now, people, you can shut up about Sam Darnold. He has won a Super Bowl. Period. I don't care about his Jets career. It's over. It's done with.
Yeah.
What he has done from the time he's been at Minnesota to the time of now,
Yep.
he's a top 5 quarterback.
He's already redeemed his Jets career.
Beyond
Beyond.
redeemed his Jets career. What else you got on him?
Three playoff games. 3 playoff games, 17 receptions, 199 yards.
That's a lot, dude.
And 2 reception touchdowns in the playoffs.
Damn.
11.7 yards a catch.
They ended up using Kenneth Walker a lot more in the playoffs.
They did. But he was always that vertical threat.
And you know where Kenneth Walker went? To Kansas City. Which Kansas City needed a running game.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Walker's good, considering they're probably going to be without Patrick Mahomes for half the year.
Oh.
That's a good pick. JSN, here's the thing about JSN. JSN is versatile,
Yep.
great hands, great feet, and knows how to run a route.
Excellent route runner.
Okay? If you put him as a 1, put him as a 2, you put him as a slot,
He's just deadly in the slot.
that's it. You don't see me doing this. Dude, he's going to be in the 90s as a Madden rating for 27 when it comes out in
If
fall.
he's not in the 90s, there's something wrong with Madden's
Right.
ratings.
That's good. That's a great pick for your slot. Okay, hit me.
All right, you. Let's go with your right tackle.
My right tackle? Well, the right tackle position was interesting because it's not, how do I want to put this? It's not a position
For glory.
of glory. But because you don't have a lot of left-handed quarterbacks in this league at all.
Right.
Ever. But one guy that played for Cincinnati and protected Carson Palmer for umpteen years. Okay? I would take him any day of the week to be my right tackle. And it's rare that I take a Cincinnati Bengal.
Right.
But Willie Anderson, longtime Cincinnati Bengal. He protected Carson Palmer for years. Was always in the 90s, like the lower to middle 90 tier in Madden. Always had a high blocking rate, high strength rate, and a high, it had strength and a high awareness rate. If you needed a solid right tackle, Willie was your guy. Like I said, right tackles are not your glory position.
Right.
The other side is your glory position, which there are tons of left tackles. But right tackles, you could kind of bundle them in a basket because that was about all you had. There's some right tackles currently now, and there's some in the mid 2000s. Like I could have used David Stewart, who played for the Titans. I could have used Ryan Diem, who played for the Colts. But I decided to go with Willie Anderson.
That's a solid pick.
Right.
That's
Okay.
a solid pick.
So for you, even that for last.
Yeah.
Let's go with your right guard.
Right guard, huh?
Uh-huh.
I just wrote down guards.
Right, that's fine.
Actually, I think it'd be this guy then.
Chris Lindstrom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris Lindstrom. Not 100% sure which team he still plays on, but the last 3+ seasons, his PFF grade is 95.5. So that automatically tells you he's great at blocking and passing.
Right.
Of course, I know I saw that.
So if you get an opportunity, this is what's cool about this show, is if you want to look him up, I want to say Lindstrom's playing for Denver. That sounds about right. I want to say Chris Lindstrom plays for Denver, but that may not be right. So, man, you got me thinking about Chris Lindstrom now because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Chris.
Oh, Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
That's who he plays for.
Yep.
Yes, because, excuse me, that is by far Atlanta's best guard.
Yeah. Granted, he did have an 88.4 overall PFF,
Which is good.
last year, but still,
88's good.
the last 3 years to average at least a 95.
Oh, sure.
Dude, it's
Okay.
unbelievable.
Chris Lindstrom. He's a current guard. Can play both sides, left or right, which makes him very valuable. He did play right tackle a couple of times, but he's more of a guard. He's more of a two-way guard.
Yep.
Chris Lindstrom does a nice job protecting Michael Penix's blind side because Michael Penix is a rare left-handed quarterback.
Yep.
Obviously, Michael Penix missed a chunk of last year and ended up having being Kirk Cousins. But if you guys need a guard, Chris Lindstrom's your guy. That's a good pick again. All right?
Yeah. All right, give me your slot wide receiver.
My slot receiver.
Yep.
So, obviously, receivers are
A baby.
a plenty, right? So, I'm going to go with a Minnesota Viking who is a former Ohio State Buckeye.
Hey, I know who he's picking.
Okay. And no, it is not David Boston. I am going to go with number 80, Chris Carter. Chris Carter.
Excellent hands.
Excellent hands, great route runner, and put up great career numbers. Okay. Quietly, I don't think he's going to make the Hall of Fame, but he put up great career numbers and played a very long career. I think he played 16 or 17 seasons. Now, he was more of a number one when he was younger. Randy Moss came in, he fell to number two. And then he never really played a slot, but like this is a draft, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If I had a choice to put Chris Carter in a slot, I'd put Chris Carter in a slot in a heartbeat.
Yep.
That's deadly. Deadly to put Chris Carter in a slot. And considering he played most of his career in Minnesota,
Oh, yeah.
I'd put Chris Carter in a
Again,
slot.
longevity and loyalty.
Yep. And he went through some quarterbacks.
Oh.
Randall Cunningham, Dominic Culpepper. I mean, that's just two, you know.
Yeah.
That would be my slot receiver. Now, obviously, again, the receiver list is all the way up to my ceiling.
Can't wait to hear his number one.
All right. So, I want your number one receiver.
Glad you asked. Puka Nacua.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
I mean, current man. Come on.
Right.
But no, he's dude. This again. He's a catching magnet. 16 games, 129 receptions, 1,715 receiving yards, 10 receiving touchdowns, 13.3 yards a catch.
So the thing about Puka Nacua, as long as that man stays healthy, there's no stopping him. Okay? I think Puka Nacua averaged over 100 yards receiving last season. Okay? Which is really, really... I don't remember who in our fantasy league had Puka Nacua.
Brad.
And Puka Nacua just tore it up in the fantasy leagues.
Yes, he did.
If you have an opportunity to draft Puka Nacua to your fantasy squad coming this fall, pick him up in a freaking hurry, because Puka Nacua would be one of the first receivers off the board. If it's not Jamar Chase, if it's not Jay Jettas, if it's not Amon-Ra, I'm telling you, it'd be Puka Nacua.
Right.
That's a good pick, Josh. All right, Phil, throw me what you're thinking next.
Give me your top tight end.
My top tight end. So this is the fun part. Tight ends are at a premium. Okay, I could go with the Titan legend, Frank Wycheck. rest in peace to Mr. Wycheck. Kind of somebody you don't really talk about a lot. But I'm going to go with the 2026 Hall of Fame inductee who played his whole career with the San Diego / LA Chargers. He did play with just the San Diego Chargers, but now they're the LA Chargers.
He also played at Kent State.
He played at Kent State. 2026 Hall of Fame inductee, Antonio Gates. Now,
I love that.
I could have took Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, nobody would blame me for that either.
Okay. But Antonio
I
Gates,
still love that pick.
this dude, oh my God. He was Phillip Rivers' target. Okay. This dude wasn't fast. But there's three things about Antonio Gates that you could say. Best hands.
Yes.
He used those basketball skills heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And the man knew how to find the end zone.
Always.
And guess what? Congratulations to Antonio Gates on becoming the 2026 one of the 2026 Hall of Fame inductees. He's one of my favorite tight ends of all time. He's up there with Tony Gonzalez.
I love it, dude.
So I want now. You know what? We're just gonna swap. I want yours because I got a feeling I know who it is, and he plays for a really crappy team, and I feel really cruddy for him. If he was somewhere else, he'd be thought of.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me your tight end. I know who it is.
Tight end. Now, again, people would think I would pick either Kelsey or Goddard or I mean, you can name any one of the current tight ends that are pretty decent out there. But this guy plays in Arizona. All you Cardinal fans will still remember this guy, Trey McBride.
I had him on my fantasy squad. And did he save my life at the tight end position? When I lost Sam Laporta for the year, I ended up making a trade because my buddy wasn't really paying too much attention to it. So I ended up making a trade to get George Pickens and Trey McBride. And I tell you what, when I needed a tight end, Trey McBride showed up. And listen to these freaking numbers by him.
Yeah. 17 games, regular season.
No injuries.
No injuries. 126 receptions. 1,239 receiving yards for a tight end.
That's a lot for a tight end.
11 reception TDs.
Yep.
9.8 yards a catch.
A lot. Just
Yeah, that's what I got. I could have gone with Kelsey, Laporta, but he was injured. Goddard.
Goddard's all right.
Who else is good out there?
I mean,
I can't think of too many current
Njoku.
names. Njoku.
Harold Fannin.
Yeah. Fannin.
But-
the Browns.
You pick a Trey McBride, believe it or not. Trey McBride. Let me tell you something. Trey McBride hits everybody this past season as a top 5 tight end, and nobody knows about him because he plays out in Arizona.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
I do too.
He's a top 5 tight end, and no one knows about him. I knew about Trey McBride. Dude, he was a 97 overall in Madden 26. One of the highest rated tight ends at the end of the, because Madden goes through a cycle, and the Madden, at Super Bowl was done with its cycle. They gave him a final rating of 97.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Right. All right, Josh, hit me. So let's go over everything. So I have a QB, still my number 1 and 2 receiver, a left tackle, and a left guard. You've got a quarterback. Your number 2 receiver, left tackle, left guard. That's what you have so far.
Nice.
To finish up.
Well, let's see. What did I? Oh. All right. Give me your number 1 wide receiver.
My number 1 receiver as a guy that he's easy, right? All-time leader in just about every statistical category when it comes to being a wide receiver. If you don't pick him, you're just there's no point in even drafting or even doing a fun draft.
I am so proud of you.
Okay.
I am so proud.
The number one guy, I'm just going to say him. 49ers, Raiders, Seahawks, Broncos. Jerry freaking Rice. If you do not, when you do these drafts, if you do not pick Jerry Rice as any of your receivers, there's something wrong. Jerry Rice he leads almost every receiving statistical category of all time.
I can tell you right now, too, I have an encased card that I've shown Brian, I think at least once or twice maybe, of Jerry Rice. And it's a general mint of 10. So it's a decent card.
I don't remember where my football cards are. I have in a case a stack of Jerry Rice cards. A bunch of Jerry Rice cards. And probably half of them are valuable.
At
just
least.
Because it's Jerry Rice.
Shoot, man, you get him to sign them, maybe worth more.
Yep. So, all right.
I you got no arguments here. That's the one I would have picked.
Right. Left guard.
Left guard, huh? Oh, you'll love this one. Joe Thuney.
Joe Thuney. Remembering how to spell it.
T-H-U.
Oh, yeah. Freaking.
Yeah, T-H-U.
The freaking H is silent in his name.
Yeah.
Isn't he with Chicago now?
Correct. And I took this stat from 2024 just because it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Allowed a 1.9% pressure rate.
Right. That.
I mean, come on, man. If you want to protect your quarterback right now, currently, you want to protect your quarterback from getting sacked a lot?
Right.
Thuney is right up there.
Listen, when you talk about Joe Thuney, he did a great job, I thought, protecting Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I was shocked when he wanted out. He decided.
But he's won how many Super Bowls? He won how many with Mahomes?
I think 2 or 3. I don't know how many he's won.
You can't blame him.
My kitty likes to keep joining the show because he's a daddy's cat. So if you keep seeing my cat, that's why he's in my show. Joe Thuney. I tell you what, when you look at last year and if you're going to sit here and tell me that that Kansas City didn't miss Joe Thuney, that's a lie.
You have to be lying to
Joe
yourself.
Thuney is one of the top guards in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could go with Eagles guard. I can't think of his name. He's Hawaiian. I can't think of his name.
He's actually a tackle.
Yeah, he plays guard too.
Fun fact though, I got him listed for you. So
yeah. The one that I would have at tackle would be Penny Sewell.
Oh, Penei Sewell. Yeah, he's not bad either.
Lions tackle. If it was up to me, I'm not doing Currents.
Right.
But the guard position. I mean, there are some guards out there that are good. A Kevin Zeitler. I still think he's a good, even at 36 years old. Kevin Zeitler's good. I still think Wyatt Teller's good.
Oh, yeah.
I think Joel Bitonio's good. I'm just kind of going over some names that I'm just pulling off the top of my head that I know are good guards. I'm sure there's more. But Joe Thuney. First name. When you think of a guard, it's him. Then there's kind of that, you'll tier him.
Yeah.
Joe Thuney's tier 1. Yeah, there's a bunch of tier 2s, maybe some tier 3s, and etc.
He stands out.
Joe Thuney, good pick. I like that pick.
All right, for you, give me your left guard.
Rest in peace. I picked this man for every freaking Madden game I've ever done. All 90s decade, left guard. Okay. Rest in peace. And I don't care what any of you say. Okay. Larry Allen.
Wow.
All 90s decade. And early 2000s decade. Left guard. He just got put in the Hall of Fame not too long ago, but I don't remember what year it was. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Played almost his whole career at Dallas. But I think his final year or two, he played for the Niners. I'm telling you guys right now, you want a left guard, Larry Allen is at the top of that list. There's some others out there.
Yeah.
Former Kansas City Chief and Brian Waters. Now, a lot of people know Brian Waters. Very good guard. Obviously, one of the top ones was Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers freaking Steve Hutchinson. Okay? There's way more guards out there. Alan Faneca. You know, technically, if I wouldn't have took Bruce Matthews, I could have put him at right guard or left guard because he played left guard his final year.
Right.
But when you think of the top tier Hall of Famer, it has got to be Larry Allen. For you, I want your number 2 receiver.
All right. Now this one I could have gone any number of directions.
Absolutely.
I could have picked Chase. I could have picked.
You could have picked. Listen to me. You could have picked anybody that you wanted to pick, because left tackles, at this point, especially now, come at a freaking premium.
Left tackles?
Or no, I'm sorry, wide
receivers. Yeah.
We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, especially now, come at a freaking premium.
Yeah.
Who you going with?
Shoot, I could have gone with George Pickens too, but
Could have went with George Pickens. Could have went CeeDee Lamb.
But since he was on my fantasy team, I went with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Listen to me before you even continue. All right. You went with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay. This freaking dude, since he's been drafted by the Lions, has averaged at least freaking 1,300 yards receiving. Tell these people his 2025 numbers.
17 games, all regular season.
Thought he was going to miss a game.
Right. 117 receptions, 1,401 receiving yards.
That's ridiculous.
11 reception TDs, and 12 yards exactly.
12 yards a catch?
Yep.
Listen to me very carefully. When you talk about having 12 yards a catch, listen, there is nobody. If you're averaging double digits, sorry about this, guys. If you're averaging double digits a catch, listen to me very carefully. If you're averaging double digits per catch as a wide receiver, that puts you in the top tier of this league.
It does.
Okay? Amon-Ra would have been my freaking choice. No question. Even having Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, blah, 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 blah. I go with Amon-Ra because he is so durable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jefferson didn't even make the top 10 last year.
No, because of his quarterback problems. He still had 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
So that ain't on Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, to me, still a top 5 receiver. Period.
Yep.
It's not Justin Jefferson's fault that he had quarterback inconsistencies.
Also, I will shout out, just an honorable mention, just because he's...
Sure, why not?
Also from Ohio State. Played for Tampa Bay. Emeka Egbuka.
Oh, Mekabuka.
Almost had 1,000 yards.
As a rookie.
As a rookie.
Uh-huh.
Very, 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 again...
He was,
as with any wide receiver that comes
he was
out of
technically
Ohio
the number 1 receiver because of Mike Evans going down.
Yeah. Mike Evans went down early. Egbuka stepped up into that number 1 role immediately.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Great pick.
Yeah.
So you're down to QB and left tackle. So I've got QB, receiver 2, and left tackle.
Oh, sweet. All right. Give me your number 2 wide receiver then.
So my number 2 wide receiver, I'll take him all day long. I don't even care. I could have gone. I could have gone with. I could have gone with. I could have won. Of course, I could have gone with T.O. I could have gone with. I could have gone with. I could have gone with. I could have gone with T.O. I could have gone with. I could have gone with Eric Moulds, Andre Johnson, Lee Evans, Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey, Chad Johnson, Oh my goodness, Derek Mason. Oh, oh, the list of receivers: Hines Ward, Plaxico Burris, Santana Moss, Jericho Cotchery. I mean, the receiver,
Yeah.
when it comes to retired, is endless.
Yep.
But how do you not go with frickin' Randy Moss? I mean, you don't. Vikings, Raiders, Patriots, Titans. Obviously, the end of his career, he didn't have a lot left in him when he played for Tennessee. So I'm not mad. We're gonna keep it focused on the Vikings portion of his career and the Pats portion of his career.
Yep.
Man, when he went to Tom Brady, I didn't expect him to have 23 receiving touchdowns.
I don't think anybody did.
Okay, and he blew up when he was with the Patriots. Everything that happened with the Raiders, it was he got underused with the Raiders and misused. And then his career with the Vikings. That's where he's memorized for, the Vikings and the Patriots. That was his Hall of Fame numbers right there. That was everything he needed to get himself in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So, I've got a Hall of Fame running back, two Hall of Fame wide receivers. I got a Hall of Fame, let me see, three Hall of Fame offensive linemen. I think Willie Anderson might be, and I have to look at that later. And a Hall of Fame tight end.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't go wrong, dude.
no, not at all. So, if you guys are paying attention, I'm going to go ahead and bring this out now. We're saving the most important position for dead last.
Yep.
Left tackle. And it's not dead last. Left tackle.
This is the guy you were referencing earlier for the Eagles. Jordan Mailata?
Oh, yeah. Jordan Mailata.
Yeah. M-A-I.
M-A-I.
L-A-T-A.
What is it? M-A-I-A?
L-A-T-A.
Oh, Jordan Mailata.
Yep.
Jordan Mailata. Do his numbers, and then I'll talk about him. He's with Philly.
Yeah. 95.2 PFF overall grade. Now, you want to talk about protecting Jalen Hurts. This guy, along with Lane Johnson, is that
Yeah, it's Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep, him and Lane Johnson. That was your offensive line.
They are by far the best tackle duo.
Oh, Landon Dickerson. That's their guard. Yeah. Landon Dickerson. That's who I was thinking
That's
of.
who you were thinking of. But yeah, Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. They're by far their best tackle duo.
So when you talk about Jordan Mailata, okay. So these Hawaiian offensive linemen, they come in and they tear it up. Look at Penne. Jordan Mailata.
Yep.
These Hawaiian offensive linemen, they don't play for the money. They play to hurt somebody. Now, Jordan Mailata at the beginning of his career played guard. So he actually is a two-way tackle.
Yep.
You don't need to play the other tackle side because that's where Lane Johnson's at. But he can if need be necessary.
Right.
But he also played guard, left guard for a little bit before Landon Dickerson come in. I was thinking about Landon Dickerson earlier. That's another good guard. That's why the Eagles' offensive line, even after Jason Kelce retired, they came in to the Madden 26 ratings, I think, of like 89 overall offensive line. Jalen Hurts has it freaking made.
Yeah, honestly, if Kelce was still around, I would have picked him for the current.
Oh, Jason Kelce.
Yeah, current center. Easy runaway
Kelce, absolutely.
But yeah.
All right,
your
my left hand. Now, I was telling you this earlier. Now, this spot, there's choices. I could have gone perennial Pro Bowler Michael Roos, who played for the Titans. Brad Hopkins, who played for the Titans. Okay, I'm trying not to pick Tennessee Titans for this. I'm trying to keep it open.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about left tackles, 99% of these guys have it hard trying to protect the blind side.
Yep.
So you have Hall of Famers like a Walter Jones. The guy that I pick, it is not Jonathan Ogden. I thought about Jonathan Ogden too. Jonathan Ogden, great Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But he's an Ohio State product. And I would take him again and again and again and again.
Yes.
He played for the Rams and the Bears. Orlando Pace. 90s decade when it come to left tackles for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And he was 2000s all-decade left tackle. He protected the great Kurt Warner. I would take Orlando Pace as my left tackle all day long. Despite, okay, having a bread basket full of left tackles that I could go with.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start with left tackles, dude. Especially in the early 2000s. The left tackles were endless of left tackles you could get. Fozel Adams, Tyron Smith for the Cowboys. You know, the Cowboys there for a minute had Fozel Adams. Then they let him go. Then they had a little break where they had Doug Freed. They ended up moving him. Then they drafted Tyron Smith, who ends up being a freaking perennial Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Future Hall of Famer. You have Orlando Pace, Walter Jones. Everybody forgets about Walter Jones, by the way. Walter Jones is one of the best Seattle Seahawks left tackles of all time. Hall of Famer. I could go on and on and on and on all day with left tackles. But if I have to take one, I would take Orlando Pace. I would trust him to protect my blind side because I think every year he averaged, I'm trying to think here, let me see your thing real quick. I want to say he was in the upper 90s when it come to the PFF grade.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You know, he was in the upper echelon every year. Let's get this done. Your last pick. Before you continue, future Hall of Famer, folks.
Absolutely. Also, Brian Haddon for the stretch run of his championship run on his fantasy team.
What a pick that ended up being.
Matt Stafford.
Lions and Rams. Hit it.
20 games, 63.4% completion percentage.
Yep.
5,643 passing yards. 52 touchdowns. Only 9 interceptions. He also had 16 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, here comes my doggy.
And he had, 16 rushing touchdowns. That's it.
That's
the stats. Stuff.
Matthew Stafford, a future Hall of Famer. I'm telling you right now, you can come in here, baby. You guys can say hi to my wifey.
Guys, I need to talk to you when you're done.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I really don't think you want it on your
Okay. All right.
podcast.
All right. So I obviously have tons of choices at quarterback. Right?
Way too many.
So I could go with Phillip Rivers,
Tom
Brady, the GOAT,
Peyton Manning,
the sheriff. I could go with a Jim Kelly. I could go with Josh, there's options. But I'm going to tell you who I'm going to go with. As much as I love Joe Montana, I am going to take a quarterback who really fought for years just to start. And when he started, he took Joe Montana's spot. And that was Steve Young. I am a sucker for left-handed quarterbacks because the only two quarterbacks that I've ever loved is Steve Young and Mike Vick. Granted, there's been some left-handed quarterbacks. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah,
Michael Penix, Randall Cunningham. But man, am I a sucker for Steve Young. I put Steve Young with this team, and he's got Jerry Rice, who he's very well accommodated with.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. I'm winning a freaking Super Bowl with this team. That's our draft. I'm going to go through it one last time so you guys all know.
Start with yours first.
So mine is all retired players.
All retired.
Steve Young is my quarterback. Daryl Johnston is my fullback. Frank Gore is my running back. My 2 receivers, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, respectively. My offensive line, going from left tackle over. Orlando Pace, Larry Allen, Bruce Matthews, Will Shields, Willie Anderson. My slot receiver is Chris Carter. My tight end is Antonio Gates. Okay? Your team, currents. Matt Stafford, future Hall of Famer. It's already done and over with. Kyle Juszczyk, future Hall of Famer. James Cook, starting running back. Puka Nacua, future Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, future Hall of Famer. JSN,
He's well on his way.
career, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll
Right.
see, but he's well on his way. It's a good sign.
Offensive line, Jordan Mailata, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, Chris Lindstrom, Lane Johnson, and the tight end Trey McBride. You guys heard it first. Any of you that may end up watching this, please shoot us a comment. Who do you think wins? Retired or current? When we come back in 2 weeks, this is something you'll have to do again, because we'll probably do it this way again.
Yeah.
We're going to go retired, current defenses. So we'll do what we're supposed to. We'll do it a 4-3. Okay,
Yeah,
instead of a 3-4,
that's-
we'll go 4-3. We'll go to the base defense.
That's
So
what- yeah.
2 defensive ends, 2 defensive tackles, 3 linebackers,
2 cornerbacks.
2 corners, a strong and a free safety. Okay,
I like it.
guys, this was our special segment. I've been waiting to do this. I love doing this stuff
Loved
with
it,
them.
dude. Loved it.
Please, if you guys watch this, comment who you think will win it. My team or Josh's? Josh got a great team too. So do I. So when you guys take the opportunity to watch this, please listen to it. And again, we'll be back in 2 weeks with more Sports Junkies and the defensive side of this. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you so much for listening.